There are men who run, and there are men who retreat while keeping you close, not to love you, but to control the version of love you give. They don't shout, they don't rage, they vanish. Quietly, subtly. Carl Jung once wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And that's the thing, isn't it? You think it's fate, that he's busy or distant or just needs space? But what if his distance is a tool, a tactic, a form of unconscious manipulation? Today, I'll reveal the 8 disturbing tactics avoidant men use, not always with malice, but often with buried wounds masquerading as power. Stay with me, and by the end, you won't just understand him, you'll remember the version of you that forgot how to see clearly. Silent withdrawals to punish you. He doesn't yell, he disappears for hours, for days. And in that silence, you spiral. You replay every word you said. You rewrite texts you never send. You start to believe, maybe I expected too much. Maybe I was too much. But understand this, the withdrawal isn't absence. It's a message, a manipulation of the energetic field between you. Jung called this the shadow dance, where what is unhealed seeks control through avoidance. He punishes not with words, but with your own confusion, so you become more careful, more pleasing, less you, giving just enough to keep you hooked. He knows how to drip-feed affection, a late-night text, a sudden compliment, a flash of vulnerability, like a mirage in the desert just when you're about to walk away. He appears. He touches the wound just enough to make you stay, and then disappears again. This is not affection. It's breadcrumbing. It mimics intimacy without offering depth. Jung believed every man has an anima, a feminine soul within. But when a man is avoidant, that anima becomes buried, and instead of expressing emotion, he manipulates yours. He doesn't want connection. He wants control over your longing. Blame shifting when you ask for more. When you express a need, he doesn't listen. He deflects. Suddenly you are too sensitive, too needy, or never satisfied. But here's the truth. Avoidant men are allergic to emotional responsibility. Why? Because they equate vulnerability with weakness. And instead of confronting their own limitations, they project them onto you. Jung warned us, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But the avoidant man doesn't follow that trail. He hides from it. So your requests become accusations, your boundaries become attacks, and your silence, his reward. Gaslighting your reality. He tells you, you're imagining things, you're overthinking. That never happened. But your intuition knows. You remember the way he looked at his phone, the way his energy shifted, the words he almost said, and the ones he didn't. Gaslighting isn't just lying. It's eroding your trust in yourself. The avoidant man fears emotional confrontation, so he rewrites reality to preserve his comfort. And in doing so, he rewrites you, until you don't know what's real anymore. Jung said the psyche will do anything to avoid pain, even if it means creating a false self. In this distortion, you begin to doubt your worth. You apologize for things you didn't do. You shrink, you silence, and he wins. Keeping you close but emotionally distant. He's there but not really there. He holds your hand but won't hold your fear. He laughs with you but avoids your tears. This is emotional starvation. You give, you ask, you try. But you always feel like you're knocking on a door that was never meant to open. Jung taught that the persona, the mask we wear to survive, can become a prison. The avoidant man's mask is his aloofness. He wears it to protect his inner child. But you fall in love with the child beneath the armor. And that's the tragedy. You love a man who only lets you see the performance, never the pain. Using ambiguity as a weapon. What are we? We'll see. I'm just going with the flow. These words are daggers disguised as softness. He never defines the relationship because undefined keeps him safe. and keeps you confused enough to stay. Ambiguity is not neutrality. It's a fog that keeps you from seeing clearly, because if things were defined, you'd have the power to choose, to leave, to say, "No, this isn't enough." Jung once wrote, "Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling." But ambiguity creates that conflict in you. You start to think too much, feel too little, and exist in the anxious middle. That's exactly where he wants you. Playing the victim to avoid accountability. When you finally confront him, he breaks, he cries, he says, "I'm just messed up." He talks about his past, his trauma, his heartbreak. Suddenly, you feel guilty for asking for more. Understand this. Yes, he may be wounded. Yes, he may have been hurt. But pain is not a pass to hurt others. Carl Jung believed that true transformation comes through individuation, the process of integrating the conscious and unconscious, the wounded and the wise. But the avoidant man refuses that journey. He plays the victim so he doesn't have to grow, so he doesn't have to show up. And you, the empath, become his emotional caretaker. But who's taking care of you? Creating chaos to avoid intimacy. When things start to feel close, he starts a fight. He disappears. He brings up an old mistake. He sabotages. Because deep down, he's terrified of intimacy. To him, closeness equals loss of control. So he burns down the very thing he secretly wants, connection. Jung believed the soul seeks wholeness, but wholeness requires surrender, vulnerability, nakedness of spirit. The avoidant man cannot surrender, so he creates distance, then blames you for walking away. And when you finally leave, he might chase you, not because he's changed, but because he lost the one thing he knew how to manage, your longing. If you recognize these tactics, you're not crazy, you're not dramatic, you're awakening. Jung taught that we attract not what we want, but what we are unconscious of. The avoidant man may have entered your life to show you where you abandon yourself. So now I ask you, where do you breadcrumb yourself? Where do you stay vague with your desires? Where do you withdraw from your own truth to keep someone else's comfort intact? This video isn't about him. It's about reclaiming you. You are not here to decode mixed signals. You are not here to heal a man who refuses to heal himself. You are not here to wait in the wings of someone else's emotional play. You are here to awaken, to become conscious, to see clearly what your soul already knows. Because when you stop participating in your own manipulation, the game ends, the power returns, and the woman who once questioned her worth rises.